Alright guys, I'm a huge City Skylines fan, and we've got 2 videos to watch. I fell a little bit behind those City Skyline news here, but we are going to talk about the traffic, public and transportation, as well as zones in cities. So let's check it out.
Transport networks set the rhythm of life in your city. As they move people and cargo, they can create harmony and discord. This finely tuned orchestra of ships, vehicles, planes, and trains
I love
is
looking
yours
at the
to
different types
conduct.
of transportation
To
that
create a thriving metropolis, maintain a steady
those
beat to
highways.
keep your city in motion.
So
You build a
realistic.
city from scratch in City Skylines II.
And this is without
No
mods. All
public
of that is
transport,
native to
no
the game.
tracks, no runways. Creating these and other transportation networks is a crucial first step. After that, improving and integrating them paves the way for expansion. When you establish your city, citizens can take the bus or a
Yes.
taxi to get where they're going.
I'm glad taxis
These
are
are the
back.
first transport.
Oh man, in my cities, I had huge traffic jams of taxis in my city because I put taxi stations everywhere. And I had like 2 airports and huge harbors and huge traffic jams of taxi. And it was fun. I love doing that. I'll be doing it again in City Skylines.
Options you'll unlock. They're reliable, cheap, and easy to route here, there,
There you
and
go. You
everywhere.
can put the taxi depots
Traffic
there again.
conditions are their Achilles heel. It's no big deal in a new metropolis, but it is for a growing city.
Yeah, you're not gonna have
That's
to
when
rely
you'll
on
level
taxis
up your public
from big
transport.
cities. Oh,
Think
nice
trains, trams, and subways. Each one has pros and cons. They're all expensive to build and complicated.
And really time consuming to build as well. Looks like a freight train here.
Requiring depots, tracks, and stops where passengers can buy tickets and get on and off. That means they can't offer the far-reaching service of a bus line or the door-to-door service of a taxi. On the other hand, they're more efficient, not least because they carry more people and cargo and reduce road congestion. Let's start with subways.
Oh, nice. Oh, look at this little subway station there. Oh, it looks so. I love seeing the people going in and out too.
They're fast, high capacity, and they take up very little room when they're underground. If they
we
operate
can
above
put them
ground, you
above
can run them on
ground as well.
elevated tracks.
Oh, that's so cool. There we go. Above terrain metros. Yes.
So they don't get tangled up with road traffic. Trams. They're
I
more
don't like
flexible than
trams so
trains,
much.
so you can more easily add lines to service new and expanded neighborhoods.
I very seldom build trams in my cities. Like usually trams, I build them like in suburbs, in places where I have a lot of open space, but not. And I just put them at the edge of the downtown areas, but that's about it. I don't put them in my city. It's just, I don't know. It just don't look. It doesn't
Build
look
tram
so
tracks on existing roads, or run them on dedicated tracks if that's the best way to keep the hustle and bustle dialed up. Trains carry loads of people too, and not
I like to have a dedicated, complicated train system. I think that it was not enough developed in the first City Skylines. It was a little bit too simplistic. I'm really looking forward to seeing how they are going to diversify and also develop this approach to mass
just
transport.
suburbanites. They can bring visitors from outside your city in large numbers.
Oh yeah,
Trains play another critical role as cargo transport. Build a cargo
that's super important, especially if you have various different types of industrial centers in your city. Plus, if those cities are going to be even bigger in this game compared to how they were in the previous game, that's going to be extremely important to, link those different industrial parts
train
together.
terminal, and you build a hub where businesses can receive, ship, and store incoming and outgoing goods. Water transportation is another option for passenger travel and
I
moving
love seeing
cargo.
those. I love seeing those, but especially when there's like a disaster that's happening, like a tsunami, you got the big waves coming in, and you see those ships, surfing on the waves. It's so funny.
It's another high-capacity network, though water transport's real potential lies in imports and exports.
Yeah, I don't think I'm gonna bring a lot of
cargo ships might be
passengers from one place to another, but definitely will be importing tourists.
slower than trains, but these bad boys can carry 1,000 tons of stuff
yeah.
to and from your city. Yeah, that's right. You can trade with other cities. So you'll
Now, can we trade with other cities that we build? And this is something that we had in previous games. We had that in Cities XL. We had that in SimCities, but not in the first City Skylines. In the first City Skylines, it was just artificial, just like an outside connection, and it was just randomly bringing people and goods. What I hope we can do is that these connections are going to bring goods and people from the other cities that we will be building in a game. Please, Colossal Holders, make this happen.
need somewhere to house all the goods and resources coming and going. Easy. Like cargo train terminals, cargo harbors double as cargo storage facilities. Like all of the other networks, air transportation has drawbacks. Planes carry fewer passengers and less cargo than ships and trains.
But
airports are also astronomically expensive.
And big. Look at this. This is taking the size of a little village.
Have the footprint of a small town.
Yeah.
However, air transport has a pretty irresistible advantage. Speed.
Oh, yeah.
Plus, planes won't add to road.
And they have, it really looks like they have buffed up their airports in Cities Skylines 2. Cities Skylines 1 had big airports, but it still seemed out of scale. It doesn't look like it's the case in Cities Skylines 2.
Congestion. They don't follow a rigid track, and they make outside connections incredibly easy. The transport mix in your city will become complex and intricate. Use the transportation overview to review passenger and cargo transportation networks separately.
Oh, can see the
Filter
different
again by
routes. It's just
transport
like
type
in
to see
Transport
high-level
Fever.
details about individual lines and toggle them on or off. Use the transportation info view to understand the impact of your networks.
I like that we can turn on and
Plan
off
and manage
the lines like
transportation
this.
networks carefully to find the right tempo for the movement of people and cargo. Conduct it perfectly, and every citizen, trader, and tourist will march your city toward greatness.
This is looking so smooth. That's awesome. All right, we'll be looking at the next video as well, right here. Now we're going to be talking about zones.
Every decision you make weaves a thread into the fabric of your city. But don't for a second imagine a smooth, seamless surface. Cities don't work like that. Instead, it's an urban patchwork.
They're still
marked by
using the same
realities of
city, by the way.
life
They must
and
have done all
living.
those videos at
You'll
the same
create
time.
and stitch it together with zoning. Zoning lets you decide where people live.
Oh, look
and
at that.
work.
There we go. We can see
You
the
create
different,
these
commercial
residential,
areas,
and
office
industrial zones
areas,
with zoning
residential.
tools. They work in a couple of different ways.
Yeah, there we
Click and
go.
drag over
There we go. Different types of residential, commerce, industry, office. Look at the different types of density that they have. In the past, it was like low density, middle density, high density. Now they have 6 of them. Wow.
cells on the map to zone large rectangular areas. Zone all adjacent cells with one click. Or get granular, zoning a neighborhood
Yeah,
cell by
that's
cell.
really for
When you
detail. I
establish
usually
a
never
city-
that. Oh, look at the different maps. Okay. Archipelago, Bear. This looks like Long Island, New York, Great Highlands, looks like a little sea with interesting looking rivers here. These are going to be some really cool different cities here. I like a mountain village where you have a tiny little river. If you're interested more into the countryside, you don't want to have a sea, river delta. Lots of possibilities for boats there. San Francisco, so they have like real locations as well. Tampere in Finland. Right. I don't like that they have the pre-made roads, though. I don't like that. I like to make my own roads in those games. Oh, well, I suppose we'll be able to make our own roads, right? Different themes, European as well, with the climate that you should be expecting. So between 8 to 30 degrees, lots of rain there. So it really depends on... different locations are going to have different types of climate. I suppose some of them will have snow as well.
You choose a map. The map's theme dictates if your city's buildings
that,
will have a
-3
North American
in
or
Great
European
Highlands.
architectural style. You can now use zoning tools to mix it up.
I like that you can change also European and American style, because the previous game was all American style. But I like to have European looking cities too. So it depends, I suppose, on the location as well, right?
Go on,
Like the
sprinkle
type
a
of
little
map that
North
you'll be
American
choosing.
flair into your European city, or vice versa.
Yeah, but it's looking... It's not Western European. This looks more like Central European, though. But maybe they'll have different styles.
Okay, you know how zoning tools work, but what can you zone? Well, let's start with residential zones. The places and spaces
Oh, I
where
love those little suburbs areas. These are my favorite places to have in the city building game.
citizens relax with friends, raise families, and rest their heads night after night. There are now 6 residential zone types. 2 will be familiar: low-density housing, detached houses for single families, and high-density housing,
Oh,
tall towers
man.
packed with
Lots of
residents.
people will be living there.
New zoning types include medium-density
So
row
attached
housing
houses?
and medium-density apartment buildings. There's low-rent housing now too. Huge apartment buildings with tiny apartments. Finally, there's mixed housing. Here, residents live in apartments above ground floor shops.
Oh, so it's gonna be a mix of shops and houses, just like in the real city.
Mixed housing adds next-level realism because homes and shops rub elbows like most real-world city centers. Ready to talk business?
Yeah.
You'll create dedicated commercial zones where companies sell the locally produced and imported goods people need and want. Your commercial zones are also where citizens and tourists eat out, catch the latest blockbuster, and dance until dawn.
Dance until dawn.
You'll establish industrial zones
Oh, they
with
have
factories,
mines.
workshops, and warehouses.
I really wonder if those industries will be using the same mechanisms as the DLC they had in the first game. Looks like it is.
where businesses can store goods ready for distribution or export.
Just like
You'll
in the
also
DLC.
develop office zones. Here you'll find small, low-density buildings with only a few businesses in operation. You'll
And the
also
big
get the
ones.
glittering,
Oh, there you go. These are
high-density towers that
skyscrapers.
define your city
We all
silhouette
love
in the
plop in
sky.
our cities too.
Growing your city and zoning go hand in hand. Here's an example. You zone residential areas that boost the population, and with it, the demand
This is like going so far away. Wow.
for jobs.
One
You
big
respond
suburb.
by creating an industrial zone with factories where
Oh,
people
the
get to work.
farms! They have farms that look like farms, not like the first game. See what I
Now,
mean?
these factories produce goods, but they
Oh,
won't stay in
this looks
business
so
long
nice.
without somewhere to sell them. You solve that
Oh,
problem
yeah.
by expanding commercial zones. You see? Each zone helps create the momentum you need to realize the city of your dreams. And it wouldn't be the city of your dreams
This
without
nice
signature
Italian
buildings.
restaurant.
These are unique residential, commercial, industrial, and office buildings that you unlock as your city expands.
Yeah, I suppose that, these are going to be also added a lot in paid DLCs from content creators. I can see that coming. But at the same time, these are also the buildings that really add a lot of flair and charms and that make them unique compared to, another city that you would make.
They're free to build, and you can plop them anywhere.
They're free to build. Oh, but probably you probably have to unlock them based on different achievements that you get, right? Oh, look at that. That's a nice mall.
It's City Skylines lingo. Go on, say it. Plop.
Plop.
What's so special about signature buildings? Well, they function like any zoned building. A home for people, a warehouse for industry, an office for workers.
Oh,
but
nice.
they can elevate
I
the
like the parking
neighborhood in
spots, too.
unique ways. Signature
like a
buildings can
hotel.
also bring citywide benefits. Zone
Oh.
and place your signature buildings carefully so each city district flourishes and plays its part in the success of the whole city. Life's rich tapestry has never been richer than in City Skylines 2.
All right, guys, this is wonderful. Well, again, I've already pre-ordered this game. I'm so looking forward to playing it and showing you guys, what we can do with this. You guys like City Skylines? Let me know also in the comment section down below. That is all for today. I'm a bit hungry. I'll be honest with you. So I'll be coming back tomorrow. Tomorrow, I think that I'm gonna play Star Citizen tomorrow. So we're gonna have some actual gameplay. I'll see you guys in the next one. Cheers.